In the present, we meet Touka Scott, an unremarkable farmer but a man of culture. He picks up his vegetables, decides to name them like girls, admires how they look like tights and puts socks on them with a strange face, something that Yuna, his cute childhood friend, doesn't think to be normal. She thinks he's only lazying around and doesn't even understand why they are friends, and for some reason she decides to compare him with the legendary hero who's the same age as them and already managed to save the world. Touka cannot stand that thought because people only talk about how great the hero is when the sacred sword could have chosen anyone else. Plus, he did save the world, but nothing changed as demons are still roaming around and destroying everything. Nevertheless, Yuna still defends the useless hero. Yuna scolds him for not being able to protect their village, but Touka has everything planned. He already dig a hole and place stakes at the bottom, something that will kill any demon that falls into it. She still thinks it's stupid and walks away. Suddenly, Touka hears her screaming. When he looks back, he sees everyone running away from a demon. Yuna ends up tripping, and the demon approaches her, mentioning she looks tasty. Touka is watching it behind a tree and thinks about what can he do to save her, because he needs her for his future cultural plans, and so he gets the brilliant idea to grill some meat to attack the demon, but the demon hates that type of meat. Mission failed, and so with Yuna's disgusted look, he gets another idea to fight the demon and save her with his hoe. But suddenly a random guy appears and slices the demon in half. Everyone starts gathering around him. Yuna thanks him, and the guy simply says that he remembers saving her 3 years ago too, and asks how she's doing. Touka clearly hates this hero guy because he was expecting to wife up his childhood friend, but she's all here happy and smiling at this random guy. He doesn't like the hero who literally flirts with any cute girl and tells Yuna that he loves her smile, and she stupidly believes his words. Touka decides to also put himself on the radar, mentioning he tried to save her, but she doesn't have salvation anymore. She has fallen for the hero's lies. Touka starts to get angry. It took him 3 years for her to finally warm up to him, but now he's given the cold shoulder because of this hero with a sword. Suddenly, everyone in the village hears a roar and thinks it's another demon, but it's only the hero's stomach telling that he's hungry. Yuna invites him to her house to eat her homemade lunch, something Touka never managed to achieve. The hero gets happy, but his nose senses a delicious smell. It's the meat Touka tried to attract the demon with. He approaches it, mentioning how he loves meat, and suddenly disappears. Touka and Yuna get closer to see what happened, and they find the legendary hero at the bottom of the trap. The hero died. Obviously, Touka and Yuna are shocked. This guy saved the world just to die in a simple trap. Every villager freaks out, thinking there's no way to save the world from the demons, and decide to capture Touka and send him to the king so he can be executed for killing the hero. The villagers start throwing pebbles at him, even with him justifying that he's innocent. It was a simple accident. It's not his fault the hero trespassed his property to steal his meat. But everyone stops when he comes up with the facts. Nobody is going to believe that a simple farmer killed the legendary hero with a simple trap. The villagers realize it's indeed the dumbest legendary hero death in history and decide to find a way to hide everything from the king. But Touka has all planned. He will finally get rid of the hero at night. The villagers bury the hero's body, and if anyone asks about the hero, they will claim that he's missing. The next day, Touka wakes up feeling refreshed. He finally got rid of the hero, his only competitor for Yuna, only to check himself in the mirror and find out that he looks like the legendary hero. He gets shocked but dismisses it, and checks on Yuna, who immediately greets him as the hero and asks if he resurrected. Touka finally realizes he's not imagining or dreaming, and he indeed looks like the hero. The good thing is that for the first time he feels that Yuna is totally into him and requests some fan service from her for research purposes, and Yuna is all lovey-dovey, thinking how wonderful he looks unlike the real Touka. But there's a problem. He's stinky, and unable to hold it, she pushes him away. He tries to explain it to her, but his eye falls on the floor. She thinks he's a monster, threatening with a broom, and panic. He explains that he's Touka, her friend. She doesn't believe it, and he proves that it's him by revealing embarrassing childhood stuff that she doesn't want to remember anymore, and of course that comes with the price of a smack on his head. She finally believes him and asks how he became the hero. In short, nobody knows, but he thinks that his soul was transferred to the hero's body, some sort of magic. Out of nowhere, they hear a mysterious laugh coming from his backyard. They run back and see Anri, a necromancer, fighting for her life as she's all falling into the same hole. They help her come back up and reveal she is the one who did it. He asks her to return him back to normal, but she won't do it. She waited all night to finally see the way he would react to see himself like the hero, and reveals that from now on Touka will act as the legendary hero and save the world again. Because the guy literally failed 3 years ago, She explained she traveled with the hero and promised him that if anything happened to him she would choose someone who could save the world, and she chose Touka because he killed the legendary hero. Touka wanted to live a peaceful life in his village, but Anri had his body trapped and threatened to crush him if he didn't help. Touka, Yuna and Anri went to the biggest city around. They were looking for supplies when Yuna came across an incredible magic staff, but it was way too expensive. Touka didn't have that kind of money, so he managed to scam the shop owner and bought it for less. At the hotel, they counted their money, and they found Anri had the least amount. Touka was surprised and asked why she had gotten so few, even though she'd received a generous payment from the king. Anri told them that she hadn't received anything from the king, and she'd never even seen his face. It was because she had the power of forbidden magic, something that was illegal. She had been the hero's companion and protected him from the shadows. The girls decide to make some money by accepting quests from the Adventurers Guild, while Touka decided to roam the streets where he meets a few girls. Since there have been tons of guys impersonating the hero, the girls confirm his identity first with their bodyguard, whom the hero promised to duel someday. And today is that day. Touka was scared, and he didn't want to die so soon, but he had the sacred sword, and with that he dodges the punch and tries to slash the guy's back only to watch the sword bend. The guy immediately punches his face, making him lose his eye. The guy accuses him of being a fake, as the hero isn't that weak. Inside the Adventure Guild, Anri found a way to earn gold by fighting and defeating demons. Yuna was super excited about this, and was about to go find Touka when they were interrupted by Kyle, the hero's loyal companion, who starts flirting with Yuna right away. Meanwhile, Touka was tied to a pole with people surrounding him. They were throwing things at him because he was a fake hero and smelled like a corpse. The people wanted to put up a lesson for the other fake heroes that were showing up. Touka was about to be executed, but Kyle stops it. Kyle asked Touka to prove his worth by taking the holy sword and imagining it to be huge. The sword grew very large, leaving the people stunned. However, the sword soon turned squishy and bent downwards, making the people start yelling again that Touka was a fake hero. Yuna came forward with the quest, stating that he would prove himself to be the real hero by defeating 20 demons. Back at the hotel, Touka was refusing to go on the quest. He was feeling discouraged. He felt like it was impossible for him to do something like this. Touka blamed Anri for all the bad things that had happened to him. Anri explained that due to Touka's low mana levels, the holy sword had turned to jelly, and he also needed mana to maintain his zombified body. Anri prepared a special mana test. Touka had to hold a stone that glowed brighter or dimmer depending on the strength of his mana. When Touka held the stone, it only gave off a faint glimmer. His mana was level 1. Touka was relieved. This meant he could go back to the village. Kyle volunteered to become the hero instead of Touka, but Anri refused. She remembered what had happened 3 years ago and wanted to avoid a similar situation. To be a hero, one must kill the hero. Desperate, Kyle picked up the sword and declared he would just have to kill him. If you like this video, don't forget to give me a like and subscribe to my channel. I will bring more exciting anime in the future. Thanks for watching. Bye.